What if the ugliest paintings in the world were part of a secret government operation? What if the rise of abstract art wasn't just a cultural fad, but a psychological weapon? It sounds like a conspiracy theory, and yet, every part of this is real. This is the story of how the CIA helped make Jackson Pollock a global icon. Not because they loved his art, no one does, but because they believed it could help win the Cold War and perhaps reshape the very soul of the West. The CIA, abstract art, and the death of beauty. In the 1950s and 60s, the CIA funded and promoted American modern art through a front organization called the Congress for Cultural Freedom. They quietly sponsored exhibitions, magazines, and art shows all across Europe. But why? To showcase the United States as a beacon of creative freedom in contrast to the tight, state-controlled socialist realism of the Soviet Union. Jackson Pollock's chaotic anarchic drip paintings became a symbol of that freedom. But here's the twist. Pollock had no idea, neither did Rothko or de Kooning. These artists, many of them leftists or communist sympathizers, were unknowingly used as pawns in a geopolitical chess game. To the CIA, abstract expressionism screamed freedom. To the average American, it looked like nonsense, but maybe that was the point. This wasn't just art, if you could even call it that. It was strategy. Confusing, structureless art like Pollock's was the aesthetic opposite of totalitarian conformity. It disoriented, it challenged, it broke the frame, and that, in the CIA's eyes, made it politically potent. Soft power, cultural dominance, but some say it went even deeper. Was this really about freedom, or was it about subversion? For thousands of years, Western art honored proportion, harmony, sacred symbolism, and transcendence. Michelangelo, Caravaggio, Borgerot, and then suddenly we're told to worship splatter? If you can convince a man that splatter is genius, you can convince him of anything. Critics of abstract expressionism, including some philosophers, art historians, and even intelligence analysts, believe this wasn't just bad taste, it was sabotage. Promote ugliness, elevate chaos, call it genius, and slowly the public's sense of beauty, truth, and moral orientation begins to erode. Some trace the roots of this theory to the Frankfurt School, a group of Marxist intellectuals who fled Nazi Germany and came to the US. Their mission was to transform culture as a means of transforming society, not by revolution with guns, but by reshaping values, language, and art. This cultural subversion aligned, ironically, with the CIA's own agenda to fight communism. The result was an unholy alliance of anti-tradition, and a new elite was born, critics, curators, and academics who spoke in riddles, anointing ugliness as brilliance. The average American said, "My kid could do that." The art world replied, "Exactly, and that's why it's genius." Confusion became sophistication. What happens to a civilization when its art no longer uplifts, but disorients? Some go even further and say this was psychological warfare on the public. Remove beauty and you remove spiritual instinct. Elevate confusion and you weaken resistance. Kill symbolism and you kill identity. It wasn't just about art. It was about conditioning the public to accept a world without order, a world without truth, a world where anything goes and nothing matters. And here's the deepest irony. Pollock, the man at the center of it all, was a broken, alcoholic, possibly suicidal man who poured his soul onto canvas, only to be turned into a poster boy for American superiority. He was never told, he never gave consent. So the question remains, did the CIA truly believe in artistic freedom? I doubt it. Or were they shaping the world's aesthetic and by extension its soul without anyone knowing? The truth is murky, documents are missing, motives are layered, but we do know this: governments can and have used culture as a weapon. And maybe the next time you walk into a gallery and see a blank canvas, a pile of trash on the floor, or a chaotic splatter called a masterpiece, you'll wonder not just what is this, but why was I told this matters? Art is not always what it seems, and beauty may be more dangerous than what they want you to believe.